Hi everyone and welcome to DIY Ideas. So today what I want to do is show you how you can do a felt stitch that's really stable and looks really good as well. So this is something that we're going to be learning today. This is going to be something like a basics video. So if you want to see how you can do this all by yourself, then stay tuned. So this stitch we use if we want to have a clean stitch from both sides of the two pieces of fabric that we want to connect. So we're basically putting them one into another and it's going to look really great in the end, and that's exactly what we want. So something to take care of is that the thicker the fabric is, the thicker your stitch is going to be, of course, and it might be a little bit more tricky to stitch then. So I'm going to show you how you can do this all by yourself. It's going to be super easy. So first of all, I have here some fabric. You can see that I folded it in half so that we have two pieces, then fabric scissors, some thread in the matching color to your fabric. Then I have here measuring tape or a hand gauge or a ruler works too, some pins as well, and we need an iron. So if you're planning a piece of clothing or something like that, make sure that you have 1 to 2 centimeters extra for the stitches. If you do it too tightly, then you're going to have a little bit of it removed by the stitches, and then you're not going to have the size that you originally planned for. And this time we're not putting pretty side on pretty side, but the pretty side should be on the outside, so not facing one another. So this is a little bit different than what we usually do. And then we can fold it later outwards and see the end result. So now that we aligned everything, as you can see, everything is straight, we're going to do a straight stitch right across here. So make sure that you have at least 1.5 to 2 centimeters distance here. So you can see here the stitch that I did, and you can see that it's really dark. So I chose a darker color so that you can see better what I'm doing. Of course, if you did the same thing, you would probably pick something that matches the fabric so that it's not as visible as it is here. Since this is a basics video where you're supposed to learn, I decided to make it as visible as possible. So now what we're going to do is take this 1/2 and basically cut it short, so as close to the stitch as possible without damaging the stitch, and then we're going to move on. So that's what I'm going to do next. So now that we cut the front side a little bit shorter, so about 1/2 centimeter away from the stitch, then we can get to our next step. So we're gonna basically fold the back side over this front side like this to basically cover it. So it should be right there where your stitch is. So make sure to align that nicely. That's exactly what we want. And then I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do next. And while you're doing it, an iron can help to keep it all in place. So now that we have everything done, I'm going to unfold the fabric so that we have this little stitch on the outside or facing us, and then we can fold it to the left side. And then we should have the visible stitch here on this side and the rest of the fabric on the other side. And now that we ironed over this to keep it in place, then we're going to do a stitch along this other side, so along the left side of this little section. Also make sure to pull the fabric a little bit apart so that you don't have anything weird going on there. And then when you do that, we're pretty much done. So you can see on here the stitch from the front side and from the back side, and it looks really neat from both. Of course, with time, it's going to get easier and you're going to get faster at this, but as you can see, even if you're a total beginner, you can do this really nicely. And then on the outside, you're not going to be able to see the stitch almost at all. So you can see here how neater this looks in comparison to most other stitches. So with darker fabric, of course, it's going to look even better. So there are two different types of this felt stitch. So the one is the simple and the doubled version. You can also buy a special foot for your sewing machine to do these. So you can do them as I showed you, or you can do them with the foot. Of course, there's another way, and in that case, we just wouldn't put the pretty sides on the outside, but on the inside. And then we would have to do a third stitch, so an extra step. So when we do it pretty side on pretty side, the first stitch would basically be invisible, and then we would need a third stitch so that everything looks the way it's supposed to. So then in that case, we would have the double stitch on the one side and on the other, just a regular one. So this is it for today's tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed. Feel free to let me know what you think in the comment section below the video. You can also subscribe by clicking on the subscribe button and activating the notification bell. That way you'll get notified every time I post a new project. And if you like the video, feel free to shoot a thumbs up. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye!